Hello to all my Cancers. It is AD with Astrology, and I'm going to be doing your Zodiac monthly reading, guys. Welcome back to the channel. If you're old, welcome. If you are new, we are so happy to have you here as we grow and expand, guys. So let's go ahead and hop straight into it. Please keep in mind that I do subscribe to Vedic Astrology, so my placements could be different than yours, but you should be watching this reading if you are, in fact, a Vedic, sidereal, Cancer rising, or a Cancer moon, or you can watch this if you are a Western sun in Cancer, guys. So those are the energies that I'm tuned into. Let's see what we're working at. At the very end of the reading, we are going to be doing a sidereal astrological analysis and predictions. So that should be fun. So stay tuned for that. Already coming in hot. 5 of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, Cancer. So there could definitely be some conflict concerning work or money, or just discipline. For some of you guys, it could just be your own fighting yourself, like you're fighting procrastination. You don't particularly want to be bothered. Yeah, the 2 of Wands. So there is a lot of friction. I cannot say that I'm missing that at all. Like, there is quite a bit of friction about which way to go, who has the better idea, if this involves other people, what is the best way forward. This could just be a dialogue within yourself, Cancer, to be honest. Doesn't have to be too many people, but let's keep fleshing this out so we can see what's going on. But certainly a lot of fire. The world, the universe, nice. Okay. The Prince of Swords, so strong communication, judgment. All right. The Emperor. Okay, Cancer. Okay. So strong communication, definitely coming from a masculine or a boss. So we're going to read this 2 ways. Wow, the Ace of Swords. Okay, I use a completely different deck, and your reading is so parallel to Capricorn. Very, very interesting. And then here we have the 5 of Swords. Whoo! So a lot of changes with the 5s cornering this. So there's definitely some uproar, some upset, some things that Spirit wants to bring your attention, some things that Spirit wants to change around. And I do think that whatever it is going to bring clarity. For some of you, you are definitely in a disagreement with the boss, a higher up. You are not very clear on what would be the best way to move forward. For others of you, this could involve your relationship or a partnership of some sort, a divine masculine, where you guys are just not seeing eye to eye. It's just not coming together. There's a lot of friction. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of opinions that are flying around. I do feel like there's certainly a solution to this issue, especially with the inner circle, the Ace of Swords, the universe, the 8 of Pentacles to the Judgment card. You will be able to reach a conclusion. All of this will make sense as to why this is happening, what direction it's moving in, Cancer. So all you have to do is continue to follow your logic. The one thing that is missing from this reading, and let me just double check, it's missing. Yes, it's the cup energy, Cancer, the watery energy. So this is telling you to set your feelings aside. Sometimes, it's what is here in the cards, but sometimes it's what's not here. So I do feel like Spirit is asking you to remove some of your personal feelings and just deal with this, or deal with the conflict head on. I know some of you could easily have Mars in Cancer, or just a Cancer in place where you're not very confrontational, allegedly. But let me tell you something. Crabs are very crabby, very snappy. So you know that you have it. Cancers, you know how to defend yourself. I know you do. You know how to stir the pot. I know you do. So Spirit is asking you right now to kind of put on some big boy pants in some regard or another, to defend yourself, to defend your ideas, and to set the record straight. So then you can, guys, whoever you're interacting with, can find the best solution forward. Again, this can deal with your relationships. This can deal with your partnerships. This can deal with the boss. But you are bossing up. This is great energy, a great time for communication. Wow, and I didn't even see this. We have the 5 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So that's triple 5s, a lot of changes, a lot of upset. You are definitely going to be blown out of your comfort zone. But it's interesting because the Tower is not present here. So this is something that is totally in your control. It's all about how you deal with it. A lot of minor arcana. We have major arcana here, and it's a closing of a chapter, a closing of a cycle. And I do think that your voice should be heard. Your opinion should absolutely be heard. And you should not shy away from sharing your opinion, particularly when it comes to dealing with a particular issue surrounding work or that nature. This outer corners, yeah, I just see, I mean, this is pretty straightforward, Cancer, so I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but I definitely do see conflict with a boss or with a masculine. You guys just are not seeing things the same way. Is there anything else that we can get from here? Like I said, this is nothing that won't be solved. I think that this will be an issue that will be presented and closed within this time frame that we're looking at. And we're looking, I'm sorry, I think I forgot to mention that, but this time frame is from mid-March to mid-April when the sun is going to be in Pisces. So we're going to talk about that in your astrological analysis. But I do feel like whatever this issue is presented, it's nothing that's going to linger, but it is going to challenge you to really learn how to stick up and articulate for yourself. And I think that this is imperative for your ascension, Cancer. Certainly imperative. But I wouldn't be afraid of this. I wouldn't shy away from this. This isn't anything that you can't overcome. The Emperor, the Ace of Swords, your words are magic. So you're going to be understood by the time it's all said and done. You guys will reach a conclusion. You guys will end on the same page. This is nothing to be stressed about. It's just something to address and move on from, you know. Nothing is really stopping you here as far as I can see. So yeah, being really decisive is going to be important. Again, taking your emotions out of it, not fluttering between standing strong, standing still, and whatever your, I'm sorry, Penelope, my dog is, who is a Cancer, is making all kinds of noise, so I apologize. But you are definitely standing strong in your power. And so you have to be sure of yourself. There's a sureness that Spirit wants you to have, and a clarity that they want you to have. So fascinating how interesting this is to your Capricorn reading, which is your sister sign. So let's go ahead and move into it. So now we're moving into your Lenormand, which is your heart, your mind, and we are going to look into your actions. So your heart, yeah, is very focused on career, long-term career, and also could be long-term health in some ways. But I do think that this is going to be good for you. I feel like this is good competition because you're going to gain respect, honestly. It's like whatever it is that you're so afraid to do, when you actually stand up for yourself, the person that you stand up to is going to be like, wow, you know, you stood up to me. I respect that. Like, they're going to see you as an equal, which I think is so important. For you to feel big, right? So then we're moving to your mind. So there could be a change. There could be a change here in a dynamic with a friendship. For some of you guys, this could be a specific friendship that's changing the course of dynamics. It's brought in a lot of issues and isolation. You see it clearly. You guys have you have an argument, you have a blowout, and then you keep it pushing. It could be that for some of you with this particular combination. But for others of you, I really do feel like you're just really questioning loyalty. Does loyalty look like to you? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? How can you obtain it? And how can you keep it going when it comes to what you're dealing with and those people who are around you, Cancer? So it's a very bold and active look is really what I'm getting. So I'm here. I'm in full support of this. And then finally, we're going to look at your actions. And yeah, a lot of action. So yeah, you're closing a cycle and starting a new one, Cancer, by the end of April, kind of moving into spring. I just feel like you're going to be filled with so much light, very quick changes. A lot of you guys could be traveling in certain ways. You could be taking some short distance trips, really quick weekend trips from here to there with this combination. But I do think that it's absolutely needed and necessary. For others of you, you know, it's kind of like lose a friend, gain a friend. So for some of you, if you're losing a friend, I do see a potential for a new long-term friendship to come in and start too. So there's definitely some newness. But I will say that it is a little bit of a rocky road. And then even here at the bottom of the deck, we have the letters. So strong communication. Your fingers are going to be on fire. You're going to be looking through all kinds of text messages, all kinds of back and forth. I do feel like this happens over social media to an extent. So there could be some subliminals coming from friends and you're like, are you talking to me? You know, who are you talking to like that? There could be somebody who just slides into your DMs the wrong way. There could be somebody who just tells you something over text message the wrong way. And you're like, I am prepared for this. AD told me that this was coming. I am meant to speak my piece and I'm going to go ahead and do it. So please speak your piece. I do think that Spirit is telling you certainly to communicate and articulate what you're feeling so you can address this conflict conflict, and show people who's boss so you're not a doormat. You know, I really get that. Like, you're just not a doormat and you're not the one to play with right now, Cancer. Feeling a little spicy. So now let's go ahead and move into your oracle cards. And I just want to say thank you so much to my Cancerian friend who is the best gift giver. Cancers are the best. She gave me these beautiful color cards because I love colors so much, and I think that they're great. So shout out to her. She ends up watching this reading. But let's go ahead and look into your things. So we got isolation here, so a little bit of a gray period. I feel like you're actually leaving the gray period, to be honest. I feel like this is something in the past, especially with the scythe here in the world, the universe, it's closing. So you're about to gain some insights after you clear your piece. It feels like the air needs to be cleared and you're totally okay with that. And once you clear the air, then you're fine. Again, this can deal with the boss, a higher up, or this can deal with a romantic relationship. For some of you guys, it really depends. And some of you, it's both. You know, you're getting hit on all fronts, right? Then we have this anxiety card. Okay, so a little bit of angst. And I'm just going to take this too because of energy. So this is telling me that, like, if you get overwhelmed, Cancer, which you very easily could in this time period because you're being forced to, you know, address some issues that you might not feel super comfortable addressing. When you do this with this energy, you just have, sorry, my phone rang and it threw me off. So let me rein it back in. Okay, so there could be a lot of distractions that come in towards you. And so when that happens, make sure that you just isolate, take a breath, and then get back out there. You can work your way through this. When this energy comes towards you, you can deal with it and address it. You don't have to respond back on this fiery level. You can digest whatever comes towards you, you know, especially with the judgment, see it for what it is. Understand what you're going to say, calculate your argument, and then go in for it, okay? So don't overwhelm yourself with thinking that, putting this pressure on yourself that you have to deal with it head on right now. And I do feel like Spirit wants you to be aware of where this energy is coming from, because some of it can be, this combination, it could be a little misguided. So please take a step back if you need to take a step back, Cancer, if you need to reassess. Particularly, I'm hearing after this kind of happens. So if you end up in this blowout situation, I don't want to blow it out of proportion, but you know, whatever. But if you end up in this situation where you're having to defend yourself or you feel like your back is up against the wall of some sort, it is totally okay to take a break after that, to reset and give yourself a moment to catch your breath before you re-enter. So just be mindful of that. Be easy with yourself this coming cycle, okay? And then yeah, we have 41, 5 again, unexpected visitors. So there's just a lot of changes that are coming in for you. Somebody could be taking you off guard. I feel like this unexpected visitor, it's a more of an unexpected response from a person that you could have thought that you knew very well, thought that you had an understanding with, and now you're seeing them for what they are. And you're like, whoa, this is unexpected. I wasn't expecting this from you. But you know what? Since you brought it up, let's go ahead and address it. It kind of gives me that type of energy. But for others of you, you could be meeting somebody that you weren't expecting. So be open to certain energies. Because like I said, you have a potential for a new long-term friendship to come throughout all of this too. So it's always darkest before the dawn. There's only a little bit of chaos to get to some order. You know what I'm saying, Cancer? So this does feel like a little bit of a chaotic time for you, but it's not the end of the world, and it's something that you can certainly overcome and you can handle, okay? So now we're going to move into the astrological part of this reading, but thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy to have you here. Please don't forget to check out that description box below on information on how to follow me on other social media platforms, and please check out my music if you haven't already. I've been singing and writing, so if you have some extra time to give, please check out my music. I would so appreciate it. But let's get into the end of your reading. So, Cancer, the sun will be in Pisces in your 9th house of faith and higher education. You could be very passionate and opinionated about your beliefs. Be careful not to fall into self-righteousness. You may be traveling long distance or have a religious pilgrimage. This could be a good time to seek religious counsel, but be mindful to not be blinded by your teacher's ego. Okay, so the 9th house does deal with like traditional faith. Well, I guess that's the second house. But another way to cherish the ninth house, if you don't consider yourself very religious, is to just show gratitude, be very grateful, and be very thankful so more good things can come. So whatever that means to you, channel that energy. But yeah, also have Jupiter and Mercury are going to be together in Aquarius in your 8th house of inheritance and in-laws and transformation. You could be receiving money that is given, not earned. Good time to play the lottery. This is also a good time to tap in and learn some occult/taboo practices, learn tarot, open your Akashic records, do some witchy magic. Your powers are really strong. Also try some new adventures, sexually experiment. You might like something a little bit kinkier than usual, Cancer. So that's a little something for you. And then we got Mars, Venus, and Saturn are all conjunct in Capricorn, your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. If you're in a long-standing relationship, you will be dealing with long-standing issues in order to restore balance, but the relationship could run hot and cold. If not, this could deal with the legal issues. Regardless, you're feeling more attractive and active than usual, and this could be a time for a bold new look/hair color. Okay, so we certainly picked up on that conflict of the 7th house in your relationships with Capricorn. So it makes sense that you and the Capricorn energy are so tied and so common. So regardless of where you are in your dating journey, my Cancers, it does seem as if this is going to be a time for you to address any some underlying issues, particularly with one person. So if you haven't been in a long-term commitment, but you've been dealing with somebody I'm sorry, I want to say this right, but even if the relationship is not defined, right? So you might not feel like you are in a committed relationship with this person because it's not official. If you've been dealing with this person for quite a few time, this is still going to apply because it's a relationship. Don't get bogged down in the fog of the labels and all this other stuff. You've been dealing with somebody, y'all have had y'all's issues, it's been difficult to balance out. This is your time to clear it, say your piece so you can set it right, close the chapter, and start anew, either with this person or dropping them and leaving them behind. It just depends on how you tackle it. For a lot of you, I feel like you're going to be able to reach some sort of conclusion and come to an understanding, but you have to be clear, honest, and communicate. You will not be able to hold your tongue and get what you want, Cancer. That is absolutely what I'm getting for you. So thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to check out the description box and drop me oh my goodness, I almost forgot. What do I want you to drop? Drop a flower for me in the description box if this resonates, because I really do feel like you're in full bloom. I feel like you're coming into yourself and your sensuality and your sexuality. I love the little lily here, and that's what's giving me. And I remember, Spirit's telling you to get a little bit kinky when it comes to a little sexy sex or whatever. So have fun. So drop a little flower emoji for me in the comment section below if this resonates. Thank you guys so much. Peace. Until next time.